Hello and welcome, guys. Thank you for joining me again for another night of Facebook Live. I also want to take time out to recognize those that catch the replay from YouTube and or SoundCloud. I am your host, Tricia Bray Smith, author, educator, and public speaker. It is indeed a blessing to be here with you tonight, as tonight we're bringing you another recap from the Worthy of Abundance Summit. And I know that several of you guys are participants in the summit. And I also know that with your work schedule, you may not have been able to join us today, and you plan on catching up with us this weekend. And so I like to come and just wind down and refresh and get ready to reboot. For tomorrow, we have the live panel discussions with the speakers. So you have an opportunity on tomorrow to join in on a live panel discussion to where you can ask your questions to the speakers. So if you saw a speaker over the last few days that you really enjoyed or that you connected with, and you're left with questions that you would like to ask, you will have that opportunity on tomorrow to do so. Um, Nevertheless, if you thought day 1 and 2 was good, uh, today, day 3 was amazing, guys. It was amazing. So much content again to take in and to absorb and to just really mirror our own lives and gain insight on what it is that we deal with in our life from day to day, what our experiences have been, and then learning some of the behaviors or some of the whys behind uh, the things that we deal with or that we recognize from day to day, whether in ourselves or from the people that we're reaching out to for help in our business or even in our families for some instances for some of us. So a recap of day 3, it started out with a speaker that came in to talk about her issues as it relates to her dad, daddy issues. And we know that here on this platform, we just completed a entire series on daddy issues and what that looks like and how it can impact and how it does impact our lives. So uh, it was an eye-opener to see more and more and to hear more and more how our issues as they relate to our dads are impacting our lives. They impact our decisions. And what resonated with me with this story is that um, the speaker shared how she didn't really begin to um, go to different level or really didn't get the answers that she needed for her life until she found a way in her heart to forgive her dad. And so that resonates in so many ways. It just lets us know that sometimes what we seek the most, we could be the ones hindering our blessings. And it is so true. Um, I believe that we hold the key to everything that we seek and that we desire in our lives. But the only way sometimes we get the guidance on the issues that we deal with is by connecting with the right people, so that through their story and through their voice, they're able to give us little jewels of nuggets that we can use and apply to our lives. So if you're there, I see some of you have logged on. Feel free to give me a shout out. Let me know that you're there. I know some of you will catch the replay. But it's just good to have you with me at night, here at night to just let me know that uh, you're still there and tuned in with me as we continue to recap day 3 of the Worthy of Abundance Summit. We had a speaker talk about how support that they lack from family, and by sharing their hopes or their dreams uh, with what they were planning to do or what they desired to do, how it was shot down by the family and how they didn't get that family support and encouragement because of who they used to be. And guys, this is so common to us. And many people can't see who we're growing to be because they can't see past our past and who we used to be and the places we used to go and the people we used to hang around and the lifestyle we used to live. And this is so true for many of us, especially when we're doing business in our hometown, around our family, and around people that know us more than anybody else. So this is why sometimes, uh, growing a business and living our greatest aspirations is hard right here in our hometown because people know us. And there's always somebody that say, well, I know who she or he used to be, I know where he or she used to go and the people they used to hang around. And so when we have dreams, sometimes our dreams outweigh the past, but we must be consistent in how we attack that. We can't be defensive. And this is something that I've even had to learn here with the things that I try to do and create for the people of our community. I can't grow and produce and create worrying about who knows my past or worrying about who knows me and worrying about the naysayers and the people that aren't going anywhere. I can't allow myself to allow that to stop me. It is a place where I have to gain strength and be confident enough in who I am and confident enough in the vision that I have and realizing that my purpose is more important than my past. So it takes strength when the very people you think that should support you, they don't. It takes strength and it takes courage to keep pressing when you feel like you're pressing against the whole world, that the whole world is against you. Because really all we have and all we know most of the time is our family, our friends, those that we keep closest to us, and those that we feel like should be our biggest cheerleaders sometimes can be our biggest naysayers. So it takes strength in that. And it also took a lot of courage to come out and to share that with us on today. We heard from a speaker that talked about being in domestic relationships, abusive domestic violent relationships time and time again, and how it was a cycle until, sometimes and somehow she was able to find her way out of that situation. And we know that that's not always easy because many times when we are abused or when we have been violated, we want to make excuses for the perpetrator. And this is where a lot of us get stuck. We get stuck in that cycle of making excuses, thinking that maybe it's something that I done, or maybe it's something that I said, or if I hadn't have done that, then they wouldn't have reacted this way. And so some of us don't get out uh, soon enough. Some of us don't make it out. Some of us, death is the only way we make it out of those kind of situations. We know how dangerous those domestic situations are when it's physical abuse. And not only physical abuse, but emotional abuse and verbal abuse. And it is a cycle that continues. But for some of us, we've been conditioned to think that these types of relationships are okay. Hey, Erica, thanks for joining me tonight. And I appreciate you giving me a shout out. As tonight, I am just recapping the summit, uh, day 3 of the summit. So I've spent these last several nights just recapping what I've been through so that I can share and just release all of that that we go deal with from taking on from this summit. So I appreciate you being here and letting me know that you are here. And so domestic abuse, it is common, and many of us women who see out of here, Patricia Ann, glad you are here as well. Glad to have you. Many of us women, when we're in domestic situations, this is one of the things that we shame the most. We feel shame. We feel shame. We feel that we're the only ones. And sometimes where we go to look for resolutions, which for our area and some of the places, we look for resolutions in our churches and in our religious organizations, and sometimes in our nonprofits that are local. But oftentimes, they don't give us the help, or we don't feel like they're giving us what we need for that season in our life, or maybe we feel judged or reluctant to move, still having that fear and never being able to overcome it. So it was good to hear that story that came from that speaker. And then we had a speaker that came on to talk about molestation, about being molested by a parent's significant other, that was not their biological dad or mother, but was a significant other to one parent or the other, and how they were able to tell the parent that this was going on, but instead of the parent totally separating from the perpetrator, they still had connections with that perpetrator even up until their adult life, and how they've had to come to terms with that, and how as they move and live into their purpose, these things are having to resurface, and they're having to deal with own issues so that they can help kids and other people, other clients that they're working with from time to time. So guys, this is where I can see myself mirrored through that speaker's story, because I had to really look at me and really begin to peel the pieces and the layers back to every aspect of my life, because you are my purpose. You guys that are here with me night after night, you guys that read the books, you guys that take the courses, all of that, you are my purpose. And unless I deal with my hurt and my shame, I will be inflicting that hurt and that shame upon you. So in order for me to get you to the place to where you can feel empowered, and the place to where you're encouraged and speak positivity and life into you, that is something that I first have to deal with myself. And so much of that hits home. And then we had a speaker come on to talk about how people abuse authority. And this is so common, because people that are in authority, sometimes what messes up us the most is our own personal character flaws. And so if we're a control freak, if we have unresolved issues, if we don't take correction well, if there's a certain type of personality that gets on our nerve, we're going to impart that in everything that we do. And we know that for years people have abused their place of leadership. And it's one thing that I think that it's important for us to know, is that just because people wear titles and that they're in certain positions does not necessarily qualify them for qualify them to be called leaders, or to be a good fit for you. Because we know that a perpetrator, a true perpetrator who has control issues and abuse issues and are pedophiles and things like that, they will put themselves in a position to where they can get to their victim. And so this is why so many of us women, we have relationship issues as it relates to it's okay, hon. It's okay, Erica. Um, as it relates to how they can feed their ego or whatever it is their sickness or their need is, and so we find a lot of these people find their way to a leadership position as it relates to business, and these are the people that we are connecting with, that are drawing us in with the slick lines and saying that they're going to be able to help us, but then they milk us dry with trying to get our money, but not really giving us the product or the services that we need. So I shared with you guys last night that, you know, if you're someone who wants to start a business and you really don't know where to start, I'm a very elementary level at helping getting you started. But then from that point, if you're already established and you're already kind of know your brand and kind of the direction you want to go, then you need to be hooking up with the August Crenshaw or the Dr. Shay Bills. These are the kind of people that I know and I trust, and they're going to give you what you need to help set you on a path further along. This is what they do. They're in the business, the business of coaching you through your business and helping you grow your brand and see your vision manifest and come to pass. So, you know, your connections is everything. We hate to say you can't get out here and trust everybody, but really we can't trust everybody when it becomes a play on our money or a play on our finances or a play on our emotions. We must connect with the people that are a good fit for us. So this is we also had a segment on wellness, health and wellness, and that within itself was priceless. You know, we don't think enough about health and wellness in this community. We don't think enough of nutrition, and when we look around, we see a lot of us overweight and continuing to drive through the drive-throughs and eating fast foods and snacks and sodas and other sugary drinks and snacks and things of that nature that are just not healthy. And so we spend more time in the doctor's office and in the drugstore filling these medications, um, not really getting to the root of what our issues are. And the root of our issues when it comes to health and wellness is that we are just not knowledgeable enough when it comes to our health. We just don't. And I don't believe that poverty financially is the issue. I think the poverty mindset and the things that we have been taught or believed to be healthy is not. Is where our issues lie. So I hope that you guys will be able to join us for the live meeting the speakers tomorrow in the live panel discussion. Come with your questions. Come with your insight and just sharing in this experience. It's not too late to get your tickets. I put the link there in the description and also the comment section. This has been the recap from the Worthy of Abundance Summit, Day 3. I am your host, Tricia Bray Smith, author, educator, and public speaker. I'll see you right back here tomorrow night for another edition of Facebook Live. Good night, everybody.